Let's do 60 minutes of Ashtanga this morning. The last few weeks I've been doing 90 and it's felt really, really good. Um, I still stand by that 60 minutes being really accessible viewpoint. Um, a lot of times I hear people say they don't practice Ashtanga because they don't have 90 minutes. What a silly thing to do. Or not do, depending on how you look at it. So feel free to practice however many minutes of Ashtanga you want. 90 minutes is only one form, and it's a pretty, the 90-minute form is pretty Americanized, Westernized, and non-traditional. So really keeping that in mind as we get our practices going. And today we'll do the 60-minute form that's just really my own kind of creation. So by all means, keeping that going in your own practice. Feet together near the front of the mat when you're ready. Feet can be close together, touching or parallel to one another, maybe hands by the sides or palms joined together in front of the heart at Anjali Mudra. Anjali Mudra would be palms together. Samastitihi would keep the hands, palms facing by the sides. Either way, coming into a tall standing shape, both feet on the floor, belly button towards the spine, Ujjayi Pranayama in and out of the nose. I'll begin with the opening chant. Om Vande Gurunam Charanarvinde Sandar Shita Swatma Sukha Vabote Nishrayase Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantiye Abahu Parushakaram Shinkachakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shiritam Shretam Pranamami Patanjalim. Chin to chest as you drop the hands and open the eyes. Next inhalation, hands reach up, look at the thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, hands coming down towards the floor in front of you. You can bend the knees. Inhale, look up and lengthen through heart and chest. Spread the fingers. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Feet are apart, hip width or wider as you lower down. And as you lift up, inhale, take your time, fill up the lungs. Exhale, down dog for 5 breaths. 5 inhales and exhales through the nose, Ujjayi Pranayama. Beginning to find your focus, at the very least on the breath and the bandhas. But you can bring some energetic intention as well. I've been using the mantra Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti to help focus my mind. It's a David Williams hack in our lineage. Next, inhale, look at your thumbs, walk or hop your feet forward to your hands. Exhale, fold nose towards knees. Inhale, rise up to reach up, hands come over the head, maybe looking at the thumbs. Exhale, Samastiti, hands by the sides. Second A, inhale, reach up, fill up. Remember, focus on the breath is primary, folding on the exhale. Use a full inhalation, look forward, bend the knees, spread the fingers, and then exhale all the way to the floor, walking or hopping, bending the elbows, feet are apart. Inhale, lift and open through heart center. And exhale it back, downward facing dog. 5 more breaths, just warming up the body, warming up the breath and the bandhas. The sound of the breath can also be the intention. So creating the sound, focusing on the sound, appreciating the sound, all of the above. Next inhalation, looking at the thumbs, walk or hop the feet forward to the hands. Exhaling to fold, nose towards knees. Inhale to rise, feeling all the way up as the palms touch. Look at the thumb. Exhale, Samastiti. Holding focus through another Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, look upwards. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here again in your downward facing dog or child's pose, listening to the body, warming up with the breath. Next inhale, looking at the thumbs, walk or hop the feet forward to the hands. Nice. Exhale, fold, nose towards knees. Inhale, rising up to reach up, hands come high. We'll do 5 Surya Namaskar A. So from Samastitihi, that means we have 2 more. Inhale, hands reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Full long inhalation to a full long exhalation, connecting breath and movement as best you can. Five full Ujjayi breaths in downward facing dog. Inhale, look up, walk or hop. Exhale, fold, nose towards knees, chin towards chest. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Samastiti. Last one, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, look up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep the fingers spreading wide every time they're on the floor. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Connection, palms of hands, tips of fingers. Inhale to exhale and vice versa. Next inhale, look at your thumbs, walk or hop your feet forward to your hands. And then exhale, fold nose towards knee. Then inhale to rise all the way up when you're ready. And then an exhale, Samastitihi. Moving into Surya Namaskara B. From here, inhale, knees bend, hands come high for Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up. Finding that rhythm of the breath as you lower down. Lift up. Down dog, but using it as transition to step right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, hands meet, maybe look at the thumbs. Exhale, hands connect to earth. Up dog. Down dog. Left foot forward next. Inhale, Virabhadrasana A, second side, palms meet. Exhale, take your time, empty the lungs as you lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. First, Surya Namaskar, be here, 5 breaths, down dog, or wherever you feel comfy. Building some heat. Another lovely intention in the practice is that heat, that transformation, that change. Tapas, that purification which comes through heat. mentally and physically. Next, inhale, look at the thumbs, walk or hop the feet forward. Exhale, fold nose towards knee. Knees bend as you rise, Utkatasana on the inhale. Exhale, Samastiti. Two more of those. Inhale, Utkatasana, hands high. Knees bend. Exhale, forward fold. Hands towards the floor. Inhale, look up, lengthen through chest. Exhale, walk or hop, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog, down dog. Right foot forward first, left foot flat. Exhale through Chaturanga. Now it's left foot forward for warrior one. But it probably doesn't really matter which side you do first, as long as you do both sides. Making your way to down dog or child's pose. 5 more breaths. And drishti is another really important part of the practice. So where's the gaze, both physically with the eyes, keeping the eyes open and focused, just like a mula bandha or an ujjayi pranayama practice. Focusing the eyes helps to steady the mind. Next, inhale, look at the thumbs, walk or hop the feet forward. Exhale to fold, nose towards knees. Knees bend through Utkatasana, inhaling to come up. And then exhale, Samastiti. Let's take one more. Surya Namaskara B, follow your breath. Go at your own rhythm. Meeting in your down dog or child's pose for 5 full breaths. See if you can track your own inhales and exhales for 5. Traveling on an inhale, follow your breath back through the rest of this final Surya Namaskara B. Inhaling the feet hip width or wider apart, reaching down to grab parallel feet and big toes. Big toe hold, feet are parallel as you inhale to look forward and lengthen. Exhale, fold, pressing evenly through both edges of the feet, front and back, left and right. Elbows pull side to side, shoulders move away from your ears. Head hangs or chin tucks, Padangustasana. Noticing sensation in the body, honoring the practice. Look forward on an inhale, hold on an exhale, honoring the practice by listening to the body, not going further than your comfort level, maybe playing with the edge, but avoiding pain. Finding steadiness in the breath, the most of the challenge at Mula Bandha, that deep breathing, Ujjayi Pranayama. Mental focus, your drishti. I've been teaching Ashtanga facing the other direction, but I wanted to face east, which is the proper way again. So I'm facing this direction. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, hands to hips, which doesn't really matter which direction you face. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, feet together. Except I'm about to turn my back to the camera. Right foot steps behind you. Pivot your feet. Right foot points towards the back of the mat for triangle. As you exhale, reach the right hand down towards the big toe, the ankle, or the shin. Left arm straight up for the sky. Breathing deeply in and out of the nose here. Straight legs stay really active through the quads, lifting at the kneecaps. Standing sequence continues our warm-up, continues our fire. Waiting for your own inhalation. Use that inhale to rising up, reaching through the fingertips as you pivot on the feet. Exhale, left hand towards left big toe. Hold on to something with the bottom hand, reach up with the right hand towards the sky. Again, find evenness through the feet, strength through the quads or the thighs. Mula Bandha, belly towards the spine. Next inhalation, rise up to reach up, pivot on the feet and twist. Left hand near the right foot for Parivriti Trikonasana. You can put your hand on either side of the foot, gazing maybe towards your top hand, but listen to this twist in the spine all the way through the neck. Nice. Twist always coming from the core and then supported by the breath. Next inhale, rise up. Pivot the feet, exhale, side two, right hand near left foot. Parivriti Trikonasana. Flat hands on the floor, strong feet on the floor. Even weight between heels and toes. Mula Bandha. Next, inhale to rise up, open. Exhale, step forward, Samastitihi. Inhale, right foot steps back again, extended side angle, bending the right knee over the right ankle, elbow to knee, or right hand on the floor. It's armpit to knee as the thumb meets the outside edge of the foot, or elbow to knee. Either way, you're opening shoulders, left over right, chin opening towards the sky. Left hip opening towards the sky. Can you breathe into the left side body here? Next inhalation, rising up. Pivot on the feet as you exhale, bend left knee over ankle, placing the elbow on the knee or the left hand reaching to the floor on the outside edge of the foot. The long line comes from the pinky toe to pinky finger on the right side body here. Breathe into this space. Taking the revolve variation on an inhale, rise up, hands to heart center, and pivot towards the right foot again, this time twisting either left elbow or left hand towards the knee, towards the right knee. Gaze is over right shoulder. You can always drop the back knee to the floor or lift up the back heel if that gives you some more space. Find your breath, your drishti. Don't forget Mula Bandha. Next inhalation, rising up, unwind the spine, pivot the feet towards the front of the mat. Right elbow or right hand reaching towards left knee for Parivriti Barsha Konasana, second side. Next, inhale, rising up. Exhale, step forward, Samastitihi. We're going to skip Prasarita and go straight to Parsvottanasana, hands behind you to reverse prayer, or you could take opposite elbows, opposite wrists, step the right foot behind you, and then pivot all the way to face towards the right foot and fold your spine on top of your right leg. If keeping the hands behind you feels too scary, you can put your hands on the floor. You can always bend the right knee if straightening doesn't feel good. If you do straighten the knee, make sure your quad is lifting up, kneecaps stay active. Mula bandha all the time. As you inhale, rise up, pivot the feet towards the front of the mat. Exhale to side two. When you're ready, folding the spine on top of the left leg, think length. Take your time, fill your lungs. Next, inhale, rising up, take your time. And as you exhale, step forward, Samastitihi, feet together. Inhale, hands reach up, look up at the thumbs, moving through vinyasa here as you exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Fingers spread wide, heart is open on the inhale, lifting, and then exhaling back, downward facing dog. Moving through to seated, you can walk, hop, float, or fly. Since I'm doing 60 minutes, I want to get my time right. Dandasana. Feet flex, hands by the hips, shoulders roll back to the sockets as the belly pulls into the spine. So making this nice L shape with the body, pressing intentionally through the heels, even if the knees are bent, and then tuck the chin to the chest. Dandasana, Mujjalandhara Bandha, chin lock if it feels good. And then looking at the big toes, you can take big toe hold first. So looping peace fingers through the flip-flop spot and thumbs around the outside as you inhale, look up, pull away on the toes. And as you exhale, keep pulling on the toes, but start to hinge at the hips. Let your head fall forward. Chin can tuck if it feels good. Find the breath here, Paschimottanasana. Inhale to look forward. Now you can wrap the fingers around the outsides and bottoms of the feet, thumbs on top as you look up, pulling away. As you exhale, fold forward again. 5 more breaths, Paschimottanasana B. Really, you can take any hand hold you like. It does change the sensation if you bring the hands on the outside edges of the feet. Inhale to look forward here, reaching the hands now behind the body, fingers face forward. You can stay grounded through the hips as you point the toes forward, or you can reach the hips off of the floor, head drops back, 5 breaths. Exhale, hips return to the floor, gazes forward. You can cross the ankles, move through vinyasa, either rocking and rolling on the spine or stepping back through chaturanga. Your choice. Coming back through to seated, let's take Trianga Mukha. So we're going to bend the right knee, bringing the foot back next to the hip. It looks like this on this side. Foot close to the hip bone, starting with your right knee bent, and then folding forward if it feels good. You can always sit on top of a block or bend the knee more or less, depending on what feels good today in that body of yours. Follow the breath. Inhale, looking forward. Now we're going to move directly into, so it's kind of like a little mashup, half lotus. So either if you don't like half lotus, Janu Sirsasana, but essentially the opposite rotation of that knee, bringing the right foot to lotus or whatever feels good on this side. If lotus doesn't feel good, figure four or tree, folding once again over the left leg as you're ready. I'm not really mashing it up, but just kind of combining two postures on the first side before we vinyasa and take them on the second side. Inhale to look up, exhale, release, crossing the ankles. Again, you can crawl forward to vinyasa through plank or rock it on your spine. Vinyasa forward and back. 3 breaths to transition to side 2. Left foot into Trianga Mukha as you come through to seated. So the left knee bends next. Again, everything close to center if that feels okay, but give yourself more space if you need it. Flexing the right foot as you fold on side 2 over the right leg. And then inhaling to look forward and lengthen, releasing the fold, but taking the left foot across the right. So no rush through transition. You can fold it to lotus, figure 4, or tree. On an inhale, reach forward, lengthen, looking up. And on an exhale, fold forward over the right leg in front of you. Next, inhale, look forward, lengthen. Exhale to release. We'll take vinyasa here. Again, crossing the ankles to walk, hop, or roll. 3 breaths to reset. We're going to kind of fast forward our way through the first half of the first series. The second half is what I'm looking for today. So left foot forward, right foot flat, and separate your right foot off to the right side a little bit. You can keep the right edge of the foot parallel so the toes are still facing forward here. And then reaching forward, flex the left heel, either arms like an airplane or wrapping the shin and binding behind the back. Fold on an exhale for Marichasana A. 5 full inhales and exhales, trying to maintain that consistency and quality of the breath that we had throughout the standing postures. This is something I noticed in the Ashtanga practice in real life, was a lot of people dropping off the breath The primary series is actually the meat and potatoes, if you will, of the series. So more energy in the breath should be put here, perhaps. Pulling consistency and fullness in the breath. We'll inhale to look up. Exhale to release. Doing the same thing here. We'll take Marichyasana C. So now slide the right foot close to the inner thigh of the left leg, wherever that's comfortable for you, and we'll twist. Left arm can hug around the knee, or you could cross the elbow over the knee. As you twist and gaze, right hand on the floor for support. You can lean back into it a little bit, or again, wrap the shin and bind the hands behind the back. Left foot stays active. Gaze is over right shoulder. Find the breath here. Inhale here to gaze forward, and then exhale to release. We'll take vinyasa, so 3 breaths of transition. Right back through to seated for Marichyasana A, second side. So the left foot's flat, and that distance between foot and thigh is helpful for folding forward. Keep the left toes facing forward, arm reaches out to a T or wraps behind the back. You can use an inhale to lengthen first, and then the exhale folds you over the right leg. Inhale here to look up, releasing the arms, and then sliding the left foot closer to the right thigh, keeping it flat on the floor as you now twist. Right arm around the leg or elbow crossing the knee. Lengthen through the spine. Either left hand staying on the floor behind you or wrapping the hands back for a bind. Keep the right foot active as you gaze over left shoulder. You could think of the gaze over left shoulder working opposite or complementary to the flex in the right heel. Inhale here to look forwards, exhaling to release the twist in the spine. You can move through any vinyasa of your choice. That 3 breaths to reset. From here, make your way to a down dog if you're not there already, because we'll transition to either Bhuja Pidasana or Bakasana. So if you like to practice crow, you could go there now. If you want to try Bhuja Pidasana, you'll walk your feet around your hands and then walk your hands back between your feet. So you'll have to bend the elbows as you go, eventually flattening the hands with the fingers spread wide, sitting down on top of your own elbows. Don't sit too far down, pull in and up at the belly, and then cross the ankles in front of you. 5 breaths wherever you land. And then everybody moves through to seated, bringing the hips to the floor. However they get there is perfect. And reaching your hands underneath your knees to hold your ankles. So make sure the feet are as wide as the yoga mat here. You can keep holding the ankles and flexing the heels, reaching the heels forward along the edges of the mat. If you have space, you can take your hands and reach them back. Same thing around the edges of the yoga mat. Forward and back through heels and hands, or hands staying at the ankles. Find your breath. Kurmasana or tortoise pose. If your hands are at your ankles, leave them there. Bring the feet towards one another in front of you. And if your hands are behind your back, option to bring them towards each other. For Supta Karmasana, 5 more breaths. Fullness on the inhale, fullness on the exhale. And gently releasing as you're ready. Untying yourself from that posture and making your way through 3 breaths of transition, crossing the ankles to roll the spine or take your up dog, down dog. Next posture that we'll meet today will be called Baddha Konasana. So we'll skip the full lotus variation and go straight to Baddha Konasana today. Feet together, knees wide. Starting with a neutral spine, chin to chest, so that Dandasana kind of shape, and then trying to just tip forward without rounding the spine for a few breaths. You can peel apart the feet here, gazes towards the belly button or towards the feet. Think of chin lock, breathe deeply. And then if you'd like the option to round the spine intentionally, trying to put top of head or temples close to your own big toes. Rounding like a cat spine, hand can stay at the feet or move out in front of you on the floor if that feels better. Mula Bandha all the time. Inhale, rolling up from here, moving through vinyasa as you exhale. Back through to seated for Upavishta Konasana. First variation is a wide-legged forward fold. This is the posture I was waiting to get to today. So feet stay flexed because we skipped the standing variations here. So you could start with hands flat on the floor, just like we do when we're standing on 2 feet. Heels are flexed, legs are active, belly pulls in. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready, you might bend at the elbows and or reach the hands out towards the ankles or big toes. Whatever feels good, take a few deep breaths in and out of the nose, Ujjayi Pranayama. So you could stay in the first variation of this posture, or second variation is balanced on the tailbone with the option to roll back for the third. So you could save yourself room if you know you're going to take third variation as well. Second variation, lifted at the tailbone, lifted at the chest, maybe head drops back. I like big toe hold, but some folks take outside edges of the feet or backs of knees. And then if you do roll to that third or Supta Konasana variation, chin towards the chest first, and then rounding, rolling with control to bring backs of knees towards the sky as the feet stay wide. You can also take happy baby or ear squeeze here if that feels better. Final transition would be an inhale to roll back up, either release from here through vinyasa or take any transition you like, knowing that the next posture is laying down on our backs. Hooray! So Supta Padangustasana is another one we skipped in the standing sequence, but we get to do during this reclined part of the first series. So laying flat onto the back with the ankles flexed forward. You inhale as you're ready, right foot towards the sky, grabbing the big toe. Exhale, chin towards your chest. So don't think about lifting your nose towards your knee. Think of rounding chin to chest, creating a length through the spine, flexing through the left heel. Left hand is relaxed at the left hip. And the effort's really through the center, through the breath, and of course, a little bit through that right side of the body. Elbow pulls in close to the leg on the right side. Inhaling the head down to the ground and then exhaling right leg open to right side. Maybe gaze over your left shoulder if that feels good. Still energy through the left leg, maybe left hand at the hip for a reminder. I was just petting my cat, my left hand. He's my biggest distraction today because he's being so present, which is not usual. Must be this big sunny spot on the floor, huh? But we welcome the distractions in because they return us to our breath, returning us to our practice, reminding us why we're here. It's an inhale to bring the right leg back to center. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, head down. Exhale, leg down. I'm smiling because that was the theme of teacher training. That is the theme, but we still need more practice. Left foot comes up, grab your left big toe. Exhale, chin towards the chest. More practice. So the cat is no longer a distraction, or whatever those other distractions might be. Supta Padangustasana, length through both legs, but really intentional through the right heel at the floor or the front edge of the mat. Inhaling the head down and then exhaling left leg to left side. Maybe gaze over right shoulder. And then inhaling left leg back to center space, exhaling chin towards the chest. Inhale, head down, and exhale, leg down. One more vinyasa before closing sequence. So making your way through. Returning to a reclined shape for back bends, unless you'd like to do your back bends at your knees or on your belly. So on your knees, you might take camel. On the belly, Dhanurasana, holding the heels. If you come to the back, you could take hands by the heels, lifting for Setu Bandhasana and bridge. You could also put hands by the ears, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Whatever variation you take, let's do 2 back bends today, 5 breaths each. Or if you want to challenge yourself, 1 back bend for 10 breaths, whatever feels better. Breathing your way through transitions always. Focusing the mind when it wanders. And as you finish up 10 breaths of back bending, you could choose either 10 more breaths of back bending or 10 breaths of inversions, getting the feet above the head, whether it's headstand or shoulder stand like we see in closing sequence, or something completely different is up to you. Moving through any transition, any counter posture you like, and then making your way through 10 breaths of feet in the air or whatever feels more appropriate to you before our 3 finishing postures. So I will always try to remember those 3 finishing postures at the end in lotus, but we'll stay for another few breaths with the feet elevated if they're there. Nice. Always coming down with lots of control, using the breath, moving through any transition you might need to prepare for final lotus postures. If they're not done in lotus, they could be done in half lotus or cross-legged. So in the next few breaths, making your way through any final vinyasa or transition till you find yourself seated for Baddha Padmasana first. Hands behind the back, holding opposite wrists, opposite elbows, or reaching for your own big toes. Just like every forward fold, you can take an inhale to look up and away, opening through the throat, the neck, and the chest. And then exhale to forward fold over both legs. Head hangs or chin tucks to chest. One more Ujjayi breath here, in and out of the nose. Noticing where the mind goes when it wanders, drive it back to the practice as you inhale, rise to seated. Upright, hands at the knees in Jnana Mudra, first finger and thumb connect, chin drops to chest and chin lock. If you like, Jalandhara Bandha, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, all 3 bandhas means Mahabandha. And breathing here for a few more breaths, intentional. And then bringing the gaze forward, taking the hands by the side. We'll take Bhastrika Pranayama, maybe lifting the hips if you want to. Inhaling to fill all the way up in through the nose, top of the inhale. Pump in and out for Bhastrika at the top. Exhale all the way empty. Empty, empty, empty. And then we'll fill up for round 2. Inhale. Bhastrika. Exhale all the way empty, 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 empty. Last round, 3rd round of Bhastrika. Inhale. Go ahead. Exhale, Shavasana. You can take your time finding your way into final resting pose, reclining onto the floor in a shape that feels restful, easeful, either legs straight or knees bent, props or no props. Finding your way where you can just cultivate some stillness in the physical body first. So, knowing that the physical body did put in quite a bit of effort in this asana and pranayama practice, and now allowing the mind to observe in Dharana, one pointed focus, perhaps focusing on the sense of your own heartbeat or the space where the back of the head touches the floor. Trying to find a single point of focus when you can. Observation, resting in Shavasana.
Gently encourage the mind back to the breath, just noticing as it is, what it is, where it is, how it is. No judgment, just observation, allowing yourself to be present with the breath in observation of it for just a few more moments. As you become aware of the breath, appreciate the breath, be grateful for the breath, and then bring intention back. So, again, just the intention of breathing with a little more oomph, breathing like you mean it, filling the lungs, feeling that effort versus the surrender that we find in Shavasana, knowing that both are equally important, and bringing effort back if and when it feels ready to the breath first, around allowing that breath to begin to move the body. And with movement and breath and body returning eventually to a seated shape, the eyes could stay closed, as many movements or as few movements as you like to get there. No rush. Take as much time as you need. Having gratitude not only for the breath, but the practice, the intention, the physical body, the energetic body, and the spiritual body coming together for this moment. In closing, we'll take the closing chant. You can join in anywhere you like, followed by Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, peace, 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 and the sound of one Om. Om Swasti Prajabhyaha Pari Palyantam Naihena Markena Mahim Mahishaha O Brahmanebhyaha Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samhasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you for practicing Ashtanga yoga. That felt really, 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 really good. I hope it feels good for you too. I think it felt good for the gatitos too. And happy Monday. Best way to start every day, but especially a Monday. So have a wonderful week. Enjoy. I'm sure I'll see you very soon. Adios. Ciao, ciao.